Welcome to SWIMFANS. This is your movie podcast for the week. I am your co-host. I learned what a pillion is. I'm Josh McKenzie.
I make Jennifer and Josh look good in relief. I'm Craig Neeson.
I'm not a phrenologist, but there's something going on with this man's skull. I'm Jennifer Hawking.
This week on SWIMFANS Unknown Pleasures, we are talking 2025 Harry Lighton film, Pillion.
Just do it.
All right, so if you've not seen Pillion, this movie is about Colin. Okay, Colin is played by Harry Melling, and he's like a fail gay. He works a menial job, and his parents set him up on blind dates with men, which I have a lot to say about. So his parents are doing his socializing for him. And right at the start of the film, he is at a pub meeting some guy that his mom chose for him. And he catches the eye of Ray, who's played by Alexander Skarsgård. Immediately Ray sort of like blows his mind. Like, he's incredibly hot. He's incredibly masculine and whatever. And so up at the bar, Ray's like, be here tomorrow at this time. And he like gives it to him. Doesn't say a word to him. Just kind of lets him know. So of course Colin does. And I think it's Christmas Day. It's Christmas Day that this happens. So they meet up. And one of the very first things they do is that Ray gets Colin to give him head in an alley. So he blows him in the alley. And then Colin's like, cool, do you want to hang out? And Ray's like, I don't do that. See you later. Colin is like, oh, I guess that was just like a sort of a cool night that I had, whatever. He goes back to work. Eventually, Ray does text him. So Ray picks him up on his motorcycle. By the way, the pillion seat, okay, that's the back of a motorcycle. That's what I learned for this episode.
I also looked that up, yeah.
Colin rides Pillion all the way to Ray's house, which I've only been to 2 places in England, but it seems like it's somewhat far, maybe at least a 30-minute bike ride. And so he's in Ray's house. Right away, Ray establishes like this sort of dominant, submissive type relationship. Colin the first thing he does is he's forced to like cook a meal for them. Colin is not permitted to sleep in the bed with Ray. He sleeps on the floor next to the bed. There's like this sort of montage where Ray is just like beating him up, basically. Like they're in wrestling singlets, just sort of like grappling and whatever. And then Ray initiates anal sex with Colin, and I think it's implied that Colin's a virgin, so like it's not easy for him. This wasn't done very easily. So Ray stops, and they're like, he more or less like sends Colin out, and Colin's like, okay, well, I guess we're done. And Ray's like, no, be here, XYZ, get yourself a butt plug, whatever. So anyway, the movie proceeds forward. Colin begins to settle into this life as Ray's like sub. He meets Ray's other like biker friends who were also involved in like a sort of like a sub pup type deal. Sort of like a melange of aesthetics here. Ray makes him shave his head, so he's got like that sort of like shaved head look. He has the lock. He's really like bound to Ray. As far as I can tell, this is the first time Colin's had like friends and like a peer group. He sort of gets settled into this lifestyle. His parents, his mother especially, his mother who has terminal cancer. She's like, how come Ray is making you do all this stuff? He makes you shave your head. We don't really know him, whatever. And Colin's like, you just don't get him, whatever. so Colin goes to Ray and he's like, hey, my mom is dying. They really want you to come to dinner because they want to like meet you. More or less, Ray's like, you don't want that to happen. Like, you don't want me to come meet your parents. So the lifestyle continues. It is Colin's birthday, and Colin is at his parents' house. They've made like a cake or whatever. And this is when Colin's mom finds out that Ray is making Colin cook his own birthday dinner for them. She gets quite upset about this. Colin goes to Ray and is expecting some sort of special treatment on his birthday, but Ray gives him nothing. However, their biker friends, and this is like sort of like the second like sex montage of the movie, their biker friends do throw like a surprise retreat party for Colin. So Colin is now out in like a sort of outdoor hang with the bikers and with Ray and everybody. And now he's seen how other doms and subs like spend time together. He sees that some doms and subs are very intimate. Ray is not intimate, like they've never kissed. And so he starts to feel some type of way about this. Ray takes advantage of Colin's emotions. And so he tries to make him jealous on purpose by hanging out with some other guy's sub. But things sort of finally culminate when Colin and Ray have sex in the missionary position, so it's more intimate than what they were doing before. And Ray like kind of kisses him through his hand or whatever, and he finally says happy birthday. So like this is the most intimacy that they've got. Colin's on like cloud 9. Ray finally agrees to go to dinner. They're at dinner. Colin's mom is like, why do you treat my son so badly? And Ray's like, you don't get it. You're just kind of close-minded. And they have this big blowout, and Colin makes the important decision to take Ray and leave. Like, he doesn't defend his mom, but he is sort of siding with Ray, and they leave. The next scene, I think, Colin's mom has passed. There's a time skip, obviously, but the next scene, Colin's mom has passed away from her cancer. Ray didn't attend the funeral, but he comes back, and Colin is pretty crushed. And that night, after Colin sort of injures himself while cooking, Ray is finally sort of tender with him. He doesn't make him cook dinner, like they get pizza instead, and then Ray is allowed to, Colin is allowed to sleep in the bed for that night. So now Colin's gotten a taste of like a more like equal footing type relationship, the two of them. So he goes to Ray and he's like, how about we get a break once a week where we're like equal partners and not, we get to like sort of separate from the dom sub thing. And Ray just shuts him down hard, and Colin tries to wear Ray's shirt, and Ray tells him to take it off. Colin tries to get into bed with him. Ray like physically kicks him out of bed, and so Colin is finally like, his mom just died. He's not getting emotional satisfaction, even though he enjoys being the submissive in the situation. He's not being taken care of. So he just sort of like takes Ray's bike and just fucking goes. Like, he just drives down the highway, still stealing this man's motorbike. He comes back the next day, and Ray has completely changed. He's like, yeah, we can take a break. Let's be normal. In fact, let's go out and do whatever you want to do. So there's this interesting sort of sequence where Ray and Colin go out on the town, and they're acting like boyfriends instead of like a dom sub thing. Like, this is the smiliest that Ray is the entire movie. He was like showing human emotion for a while. They go to a movie, and Ray jerks Colin off in the theater. They get chased out. It's all in good fun. And they end up at a park, and they're sort of like wrestling and playing around. And finally, Ray and Colin actually kiss, like full kissing. But Colin can see that Ray's not happy. Like, the expression on his face is very vacant. So the last part of the movie here, the next day after this date, Colin goes to find Ray, but Ray is gone. Like, his stuff is gone, his dog is gone, his house is cleared out, Ray is just gone. He tries to find him. His biker friends are like, Ray just leaves. Like, we don't know what to tell you. Like, we don't know where he is. Or they won't tell him where he is, either or. And so Colin is just sort of like left in the lurch with no warning. And the last sort of thing here is like, Colin has been abandoned more or less, and now he's bruised but not broken, and he realizes he can find a dom who can not only be dominant but also sort of satisfy his boundaries. So he like meets a new guy who he's much more firmer about his boundaries with. Like, he doesn't want to cut his hair. They get to take a weekly break, whatever. And so in the last scene of the movie, you see him like meet some new guy who's going to be his dominant partner. What do we think about Pillion? Did Craig pick this?
I did, yes. Thank you to a listener for suggesting it. I think I saw the trailer way back when and promptly forgot about it. I thought that this was really interesting. I think it's a really pretty film. I like the way that it's shot. I think the acting is pretty great. I love the vibe. I love seeing this sort of subculture brought to life in moments. I think it picks maybe one of the more boring threads that it could pick, just in terms of like story spine. I don't find it particularly interesting that this is Harry Potter guy's first relationship. You know, it ends up being like a drama, a wistfully sad, call me by your name drama. And I think that the moments where this film to me sings is like, you know, the like confusion of power, the struggle with the power, the motorcycle, being driven. Ray loves this motorcycle. It's his whole like life is invested in this motorcycle and this leather, and Colin usurps it by riding it through the night. We get to see that retreat out in the woods where the doms and the subs are just vibing. They're on a camping trip, and
no cell phones in sight.
Just vibes. Yeah, just vibes. Just all of our doms handcuffed in aprons, bent over picnic tables. Like all that color is just so interesting, and it's really not. It's not like, hey, look at these freaks, which is like I think a hard thing to do, especially when you're like given a character. I mean, we experience this world through a character who has no familiarity with it, right? So like Colin is our entry to the world, and that can be like problematic just like regardless, right? He's starting from a naive position that kind of presumes that the audience is starting from a 0 point as well. I think it even if you're like trying, I think it can read as like, look at this Deanne Arbus photography freak show shit, and it doesn't do that. It actually lends a imperfect human. I don't know that it's like fully fleshed out, but it feels so like matter of fact and even banal in some ways. It's just like a different type of sexuality. I think that's where it's interesting. The ending is where it kind of loses me. Because Ray as a character, this movie's been like very generous to Ray and the kind of subculture that he belongs to, but then it's like Ray can't handle real human emotions in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I think by extension kind of casts that Paul like over the other people that we've seen, and maybe even like Colin himself. Like this is people not being able to like feel real human emotion in a relationship, and it's like, but you gave us that mother character, and she was despicable, and like there's a kind of like slightly corny but like astute line that like this isn't for you to understand. That comes from Ray at the dinner table, which essentially just kills her. I don't know that we see her again.
No, it's the next scene when it's her funeral.
just put her ass in the fucking ground.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the movie implies.
Orbit.
I think the movie implies that Colin might not even see her. Like it seems like.
Right. Yeah. It hard cuts to funeral, and I don't know. I really like this movie. However, I think it shows like a really safe, if not like to the point of boring, spine. Yeah, that's my takeaway.
Yeah. Overall, I liked it. I feel like I'm gonna repeat a lot of what Craig said, but like I thought it did a good job of like showing like a full-time alternative lifestyle. Like we dunked on like 50 Shades for being like a Wikipedia page for kink or whatever, but like I thought this did like a better job kind of getting into like the mentalities of why people would seek this sort of thing out and like how that might clash with like the other people in their lives. Like I thought like they did a good job with that. I was waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for some kind of like bigger conflict to arise. I realize now that that's not that kind of movie, but I thought the cinematography was kind of weird. Like it reminded me of like the non-hidden camera parts of like Under the Skin, which is like, it looks really nice, but I thought it was kind of like weird to film like a romance about just like two dudes hanging out in like a, not like a shitty apartment, but like an our male living spaces apartment. I thought it was weird to shoot it, like shoot that environment like that. If I don't know, maybe we can talk about that later. I also wasn't really that into the ending. It was a little, I don't know, like you can break up with someone, you don't have to move, right? You can just, I don't know. I think this is like maybe a little too dramatic for the relatively low stakes of the rest of the movie. But yeah, overall, I liked it.
I liked Pillion. I didn't love Pillion, but I liked Pillion. I've had to work like really hard since I saw this movie to like not judge the movie on what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? And just focus on like what is presented. So I'll talk about what's presented first, because that's only fair. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's like, like when you cut out the guys with the gauge nose piercings and getting railed in the park and getting sucked off in an alley, it's just like a bittersweet romance,
Right.
which is okay. It's okay. And what I mean by that is that like not every gay movie is going to be like the collected works of Greg Araki, the guy who can't miss for some reason. So like I do think it's a sign of healthy queer cinema that you have movies that are just fine. And I think Pillion is very solidly fine. Like I think I like all the performances. I'm sort of in between the two of you. I didn't really feel one way or the other about the cinematography and the filmmaking in the movie. I think it just kind of like workman, you know, it's kind of the job for me. But like, I think it's cute. I think I'm a little fonder of the ending than you are, than it sounds like at least Jennifer is, because I like the idea that he's sort of like this wraith. Like you really don't get to know anything about Ray because he doesn't tell Colin anything, because that's not the kind of dom that he is apparently. So what we know about Ray is what Colin knows about Ray, and that's that he has a dog and a motorcycle, and that's what we know about Ray. So like when he sort of disappears in the night, I think that really works in like a filmic way, because it's I don't know, it's like a waking up from some sort of fever dream or something. I like how gone he is. Like he took his 7 novels and his comforter and he's leaving.
So he's reading one novel, unless he's reading multiple parts of he's reading Knausgård, the struggle. And it's like he sorry, I'm doing the thing. It's like every time you see him reading, he's reading the same fucking book, and it's very obviously Knausgård, and like it's like he's not getting past the first like 20 or 25 pages. But that,
you know what? He's hot. He didn't have to learn how to read well.
But that's such an R. But like, I think it's really, I mean, the movie telegraphs the book's cover. I mean, it's really hard to miss. And I was like, but no, this is perfect, because he does exist in this kind of like, you know, in his own head, this is like a ascetic monk like world. So of course he'd be into like, you know, the most boring, albeit somewhat fascinating, Scandinavian author, you know?
So yeah, I mean, I think the movie is like appropriately sweet when it wants to be sweet, and it's appropriately bitter when it's time to be bitter. So I think the entire movie is serviceable, really. I don't have like a major bone to pick with the movie as it is. Well, actually, I have one bone to pick. But like what I wanted the movie to be, like when I saw the trailer, what I hoped for, this isn't really a criticism. This is just what I was hoping to get when I hit play. I was really hoping for something that was about sort of like this really strangeness and messiness about like male desire, how like I think there was fertile ground here to be about like the joys of being dominated, but also the resentment of being dominated, because like, I mean, you can be incredibly horny at all times, but also you can come to resent being made to sleep on the floor. And the movie sort of does that, but like it doesn't really get into, I think, like that inherent like messiness of like eroticism and frustration, the sort of like power back and forth that is both sexual and potentially cruel. And like though all of those things are in the movie, but it's not like about those things. And that's what I was hoping for, I guess. So it's not the movie's fault. That was just what I wanted to see. The one bone that I do have to pick with, and maybe this can lead into the cinematography discussion. I really, really wanted the filmmaking here to be like way more erotic. Like we have seen movies that are about food that are like shot more erotically than this is. Like for a movie that's about getting railed at least twice, I would have wanted just a little more eroticism. And like the thing about it is you do get it like in like brief spurts. Like you get like the first time you see Ray and he like takes off his like coat and he's in like that like leather overall situation. That sort of has that juice. There are a couple scenes where he's like in like his like motorcycle kit that sort of have the juice, but like overall, I think for a movie that is this sexual in a way that I liked, I don't think the filmmaking is particularly erotic, which is crazy because we are very solidly with Colin this entire movie. Like we know about Ray what Colin knows about Ray. So I would just think like, I mean, go like, I mean, any Sofia Coppola movie has more like longing in its photography than this does. And I'm like, if I'm this guy whose mom set up all my dates before now, I'm going to not be able to stop looking at this guy. Right. And again, the movie tells you that, but it's not in the photography for me. And that was another thing that I was really looking forward to that just was absent here. I've talked for a long time. Like, so I liked it. I just didn't love it.
It's interesting. I'm not asking for like Lars von Trier Antichrist penetration, you know, like, but
I am.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, why not? But like the thing is, like, I can feel I guess this was actually kind of agitating. Is that I can feel them cutting around things, right? Like rather than like display or kind of elucidate. There's that very quick cut where you see like the stem of probably not Skarsgård's penis, probably a double, kind of like being in the beginning kind of removed from the overalls, and then like you see like someone's dick being sucked like out of focus at the campsite. And it's like I feel the language dancing around the sex act, like the grammar. It's almost it feels like black bars on a redacted document. Where it's like I guess but by context I can understand what's happening, but like I feel like it's a swerve that's very like noticeable. I don't know that it. I want to use the word like puritanical, but like it doesn't quite. I mean, there's even like silly ass moments in 50 Shades of Grey where like we're like lingering on what's his face's body in a way that we really don't do a lot here. We do it in the beginning, like right out of the gate, like he's presented as this like this like god, but it doesn't sustain it. I don't know. There's I don't know. There's a lot of room for like, because like Josh said, because we're so close to this character, like literally. I mean, we're always like really like just up in his face, like directly in his face. We don't like get to see things from his vantage point. Like it just the camera doubling as the character's gaze, like lustful gaze or something. I feel like would have ameliorated like the coldness.
I definitely see that. I guess I thought that was maybe more intentional, because I think that like part of his thing is like being denied what he actually wants, and I think like part of that is like driving him crazy, And so I thought that was just being reflected in the filmmaking, because like the parts that are kind of more erotic, I think kind of like lean into it more, you know, like it's, I think that they show that they're basically capable of filming sex competently and, you know, charged or whatever. I felt like the long distances between those was like part of the point of the movie.
I think this is just my opinion. Personally, I didn't have a problem with the like explicitness level of the movie. Like if they wanted to show full penetration, I'll watch it. If they want to, like, this level is fine. Like that's not really my issue. It's just like I guess I sort of disagree. Like if I were in Colin's position, and like the movie, like in no small way is he's worshipful of him, and I think as the viewer, we should be worshipful. I mean, there's even a scene where Colin is like writing him this horrible poem about how like in awe of him he is. And I would think that even if Ray keeps him at a distance, which he does, I think that Colin would find newer and weirder ways to look, I think. And so like I would think that would show up in the filmmaking. Like, yes, you might get less of these like glamour shots of Skarsgård's pecs, nude pecs perhaps, but like I mean like the simple eroticism just off the top of my head of like raindrops on like leather or something, just like any sort of like sense of like tactility of just being in complete awe of this character. I would have loved to see filmically, and I think that would have made it even more interesting when if you change nothing else, if you go to the segment of the movie where they're having like their regular date and you shot it in this sort of like rom-com way, I think that like disconnect would have been really jarring in a way that I think I might have appreciated. Now that they're having like their rom-com day, this sort of like jolt, especially because we're not supposed to feel good about it. Like Ray doesn't feel good about what's happening, even if Colin does. And so like you can see on Colin's face, it soured the entire experience by the end of it. I don't know. I just think of like The Beguiled. Like that movie is just shots of Colin Farrell's body, like clothed and unclothed, because all of those women are so fucking horny. And I'm like, I want a little bit of that sizzle, man. Like, guys got to figure out how to yearn again.
Yeah, I think that's where like the language of like, I don't know, it lands like precisely at like infatuation, but maybe ends there. You know, there's like this slow motion moment where Colin, he's on the pillion. Hey,
well done.
He's on the pillion and he like reaches his hand across Skarsgård's chest.
Love that shot.
Yeah, and that's great, right? Like it's really like these soft, like delicate moments of like contact or like lack of contact. You know, like I was also thinking about how Michael Fassbender's character is shot in Fish Tank, where you're like seeing through Mia's eyes like these little micro moments of like him doing like really banal shit, but it's mystifying to her. Like it's just like it's crazy. Like there's this hot guy suddenly in my kitchen, and he's making tea, and he's wearing very ill-fitting denim pants,
and it's hot. And yeah,
like, and all these like micro moments are insane. Again, you're supposed to. I mean, the Fassbender character is not ultimately a good one.
But you feel Mia's attraction to him,
right?
You feel that
exactly.
in the filmmaking.
Yeah, right. Like it's showing like why Mia's like magnetically like snapping to him, even if the character is ultimately despicable. But like there's no again I don't know. I feel like there was room for like bodies, room for lusting, and I really like. I mean, I get that this movie is about two people or maybe just one person, but man, I really wanted to see more of the group. I wanted to see more of the
group. The group was cool. Yeah,
I wanted to see more of the subculture. Like I love that moment where, Colin speaking to the other sub. And the sub's kind of like accidentally hurting his feelings by saying like, I don't know, I'd go crazy if I couldn't kiss my partner, and it's like, oh shit. I
was like, he's gonna do Cain and Abel to this other sub.
Yeah, yeah, and like the swapping and the you know the doms carrying the subs on their backs, and they're doing that, playing chicken in the water. Like I wanted so much more of that, and like there's even like really fun characterization among the group. You know, there's an older dom who's got a limp, he's got a cane. You know, there's the pop play guy, like the chubbier. Like I just like, to me, I'm like, no, go back. I want to see the intergroup dynamics of this. Of these fucking people. Like I was like that. Like, you know, I'm like, I see it passing in the fucking rear view mirror, and I'm like, no, go back. But again, this is all like me imagining again a version of the film that it simply is not. It's a bitter romance movie. And I guess I don't find that format particularly interesting.
No.
I do. I love a bittersweet romance. It's just not what I wanted for this movie, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Pillion.
Don't you kind of hate gay bittersweet romances? Don't you have like a whole genre of gay films that you don't like? How does this fall into that?
I didn't find Pillion saccharine. So to its credit, I don't think this movie's like super corny. I mean, maybe the ending's a little sweeter than I would have preferred, but like overall, I didn't think it was super corny. And I think it helps that Ray is so like sort of, I mean, you know, sort of so cruel to Colin. It sort of makes it, I guess I like it more bitter than sweet. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I guess like to go back to what Craig said at the very beginning, like it just seems like it was like constantly the most boring choices. Because like there was, like before we get too far off topic, another scene that I thought really did have that sort of juice of like worshipfulness and like this sort of scene of like wanting to possess what you can't possess, like you aren't allowed to possess, is that scene where he's looking at all those photographs he has of Ray, and you see like the one time there's like a photo of him smiling, and there was such a great surreptitiousness to it. Like Ray didn't want to be seen that way. I don't think he wanted to be caught on film in that way. And like Colin, in my memory, the way that shot is framed is like Colin is like clutching it in his hand like it's not supposed to be seen or something. And I'm like, that's what I wanted from this. Like you're even if you are denied what you need and what you crave, you find ways to get it anyway in weirder ways. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out before we got too far. But I mean, no, I don't think that. I think this is bitter enough that it doesn't like fall in that sort of and get on my nerves.
I did think about that regularly while watching it.
Yeah.
I never knew if I was in one of those movies or not.
I guess I was just a little, this isn't fair. I was just a little bummed when we got to the end of the movie and it was like, oh, that was just a romance movie. And I was like, there was such fertile ground here because like, there's that great line that Ray has, you know, he has like 7 lines in the movie, but he has like that great line where, Colin's like, you know, I love you, right? And Ray's like, yup. And Colin's like, how do you feel about that? And he's like, this isn't what this is. This isn't love. And I'm like, tell me more about that. More about that.
Right.
I mean, I think that is the movie withholding, you know? Like, I think that is just sort of one of its modes of operation is like something enticing and then like not giving it to you.
Yeah. And yeah. I actually I'm seeing that now that you say it, Jennifer. It's Lucille Bluth. Look at me getting off.
Yeah.
You know, like, but that's also not like a particularly interesting.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like incidental to that is that it's alienating, or perhaps flatter than need be.
I can see the argument that you're making, and that's very well what this movie might have been doing, especially like to support your read of the movie is that like we are so locked with Colin that like pun not intended, by the way, that like when we do get these sort of these cold distances, I do think that's intentional. But I would say that if the movie is trying to withhold, it doesn't feel artful in its withholding. No. It feels like, I don't know. It didn't feel purposeful enough, I guess, if that was the case for me.
That was the only way I could read it, is like the lack of like intimacy that he's getting is like slowly driving him crazy until he explodes. And it's so much based on like he can't really figure this like completely unavailable man out. That was just kind of how I felt about their dynamic.
I mean, I think you're right. I think that's definitely like there. I just need gay guys to learn how to yearn. Like
For sure.
Women are so fucking good at yearning.
We are. Y'all need to catch up.
all the good yearning movies are done by women 100% of the time. Come at me. Women know how to yearn in unique and strange ways. And like, I'm not saying I want less like come. You know what I mean? You don't have to make it less sexually explicit, but I want you to yearn in weirder ways.
Yeah.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire was so good, and all they did was like touch once.
Jennifer's on Portrait of a Lady on Fire Island.
Literally. like 2 a.m. and I'm still awake. Holy shit.
Jennifer's on a black cliff looking at the roiling sea, and I'm just in some blank white apartment looking at the same
What
novel.
if I just let the waves take me away? It would be better than what I'm feeling right now. They should make gay directors go on HRT.
Yeah. I mean, nobody asked for this, but this is my take about gay fiction broadly, is like, I have to step back a little bit. Okay, so there is like, every now and then there'll be this like push online for women to not write gay stories, right? It's in the most extreme of this, they call it appropriation, which is absurd. But like generally they don't use that term in particular. They just say like this should be a men's space for men. To which I say, I think that gay men are incredible at making gay pornography. No notes, dude. Like if you want to see gay porn, like there's a lot of guys I can recommend to you off the top of my head. But like gay fiction is tougher because like a lot of being gay, not everybody of course, but a lot of it does have this heavy sexual element to it, this eroticism, this explicitness to it that is sort of part and parcel of the experience. Because I don't know, you could probably go into something about like ejaculation here, about how you just sort of get it out and you're done. But like, because that's so central to the experience, I do think that a lot of times gay fiction is sort of boring, or it's sort of rote, or it doesn't quite get at the heart of what's interesting about the experience. You know, every now and then you find one, don't get me wrong, but like, women are so good at this because women's sexual desire has been historically punished for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Not that gay desire hasn't been discouraged, but like women, especially artists who work in this sort of like mode of eroticism and that kind of thing, I think that many of them, and this goes for like the women who are making gay fiction, are like so used to like looking at a situation and finding like a metaphor or like some sort of like strange way to look at it in a way that like just makes me feel like you've sat there and ruminated on it in a horny way for months and months and months. And that is just, for me, way more interesting to watch on screen. But I also don't blame gay guys because porn sells way more. So like, you've got to get your bag. You might as well make porn. I support you in all of those endeavors, but you also can't tell women not to make the good shit because you're only making porn. I don't know what to say. That's my soapbox.
Yeah.
For gay guys. I don't know how many gay guys listen to this show. It might just be like the ones who come on the podcast.
I think I know several gay people do listen to this. It's like that tweet that was like, men writing fan fiction. It was the first day at Sex University where everyone has sex. And it's like women writing fan fiction. It's like sex was strictly forbidden at Sex University.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I think the story spine here, what I'm calling it, the genre, doesn't get rippled or destroyed enough, given the general circumstance of the story, like given the general flavor of the story. I think it remains a little too rigid, like unfucked with. Like there's something in the bitter romance, the losing the first love and crying in the car thing, that just like its spine isn't ripped out quite enough, right? It's not fucked with. I think ultimately when you like pull apart some of the like aesthetic devices and the deployment of a guy in a puppy mask, I think you're left with something that's a little bit like the British cook a chicken, which is to put it in boiling water and then to suffer with it. You made Dutch East India Company and you burned half the world, and you don't spice your chicken. There's no rub for it.
I mean, just like, to your point about how they sort of don't like alter the sort of unalterable core of Colin. Like, I understand narratively that like he's not getting what he needs from Ray. Cinematically, we understand that he chose Ray over his mom, who then passes away, and so he feels immensely badly about this. And coupled with the fact that Ray is not meeting his needs, causes him to break. Like, that's all like in the text, and it's fine. I think there was room for this sort of room like this, because Colin like not only takes to the lifestyle, but he like never questions it meaningfully after that. And I think there was an interesting thing somewhere in like if the movie wanted to be a character study about Colin, I think there's an interesting thing about identity in there. Like, what does it mean to be owned by another man in this sort of like lifestyle situation? What does that do to your sense of self, perhaps? Like, obviously real people do this. I'm not saying it's like wrong or whatever, but like, especially because Colin is this young and this inexperienced, I would expect some sort of dissonance from him, but he is sort of just like rock steady the whole time, which it's fine if you're making this sort of romantic dramedy. But I think that would have been interesting to have sort of this blend of eroticism, this loss of control, even of yourself, right? Like Ray has taken control over everything, and this sort of incredible strictness could even start to make a character lose themselves a little bit. And I think that could have been interesting. And like, what if that was sexy? Who could say? I would like to see some images about that concept on screen.
Yeah. The explosion. The closest we get to Colin's explosion is the night where he's like just trying to sleep in the bed. He flips the line back on him, like, do you tap out or whatever? Like, he's trying to open the door. Do you relent or something? Anyway, and he plays the piano real loud for a couple seconds, and then he takes the bike out. But like, he just drives the bike back, and then like it's fine. Yeah. And actually Ray's kind of understanding about it, at least insofar as he wants to keep Colin around. And like, it's not enough of a rupture. It's not severe enough because eventually it does lead to them having a day date or whatever, going to the movies and singing and going to the mall or whatever. Like, it's not like, fundamentally not an interesting enough rupture in the character, because he just kind of like, I guess it's supposed to be hopeful that he's like moving on in the end, but like, it doesn't seem like we have seen him like, I don't know, he has like confidence now or something like confidence, and but I don't know that's like enough or satisfying. It seems left uninterrogated. I don't know how you would do that, but like it does.
It would be a different movie,
right? Exactly.
Like fundamentally.
Yeah. He moves on to another. Ties his shoe and then do you know how to cook, and like it just. Yeah, it shows that there's a continued life for Colin in this world, and that it obviously brings him joy. But I don't know that I find that particularly exciting. Like, good for him, of course, but like I'm not in a movie for for that. I don't know. It's not fucking with things enough, I guess.
Yeah.
What I'm realizing talking out loud.
I liked the blow up scene. because I felt like it was Colin attacking Ray directly in a way that he never had up to that point, where he started like mocking him and like the way he talks and like his appropriates all of his hobbies and like I don't know, there's like a you think you're so fucking cool aspect about it, and like it shows an amount of, I don't know, it shows like an amount of spine that like he just like never had up to that point. It felt, I don't know, I felt like they earned that, and like they, I don't know, and the way he like deconstructs all of like the identity markers that Ray has like allowed himself to show, I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I do think there's some elegance there. Like, I do like that he does this all, and the movie sets this up really elegantly too. He does all of this while wearing Ray's T-shirt. I like that. I like that he throws his "Do you give" phrase. I think Craig might have said this earlier, but he throws "Do you give" back in his face, which I think is that's a good kind of metaphor that I appreciate carried throughout the movie. And then you get the great shot where he is on Ray's bike wearing Ray's T-shirt, just sort of driving into the ether, and he's like whooping and whatever. And so like I do agree, Jen, that I think all of that is elegant and it works. I'm both sidesing this as a true liberal. I'm both sidesing this. That I recognize all that elegance, but I did want more of like a Dark Night of the Soul, I guess, but like in like a fucked up, sexy way. A Dark Night of the Whole is what I wanted.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's performing. Much in the way that Ray is performing Dom. He's performing Dom, but he's making it he's undercutting it, right? He's poking holes in it. That like what he is doing is merely a heightened version of the performance that Ray plays every day. Like, I think that's cool, and I do like that. I do like the, driving around in your motorcycle in your undies. I think that seems dangerous, but also perhaps thrilling. I wish it were explosive-ier.
Sure. I just liked that Ray is such like a curated person, and I don't know, I think he found a way to actually really poke at him.
He makes his sub watch him play Claire de Lune or whatever. And
which is like the gayest song, by the way, that's ever been written. I love Claire de Lune. I'm just saying, it's the gayest song of all time.
Yeah, and then talk about a song for yearning. I love its deployment in Lily Choo Choo. That's a good one. It always reminds me of that movie. But yeah, it's fun. I think it's fun the way he performs the performance.
Yeah, because to Jen's point, there is that line that Ray has earlier. I don't remember what Colin says, but Ray says like, "You could never make me angry. Like, I don't care enough, basically, for you to ever make me angry." And then like moments later, like a half hour in movie time, Colin's like, "I know every way to make you angry," because like you say, he's just. All we know about Ray and all Colin knows about Ray is about 6 floating signifiers.
Yeah.
So he deploys them expertly.
There was a little clip of Seth Rogen talking about working with Pharrell, and Seth Rogen apparently on the tour for whatever movie this was like, yeah, Pharrell was like really upset with me because of my singing. And then Pharrell apparently approached him later at a party and was like, "Hey man, I don't like people you telling people that I got upset, because I don't get upset." And Seth was like, "You're upset right now, man."
I'm not owned.
But yeah, no, that idea that like Ray's some kind of like impenetrable like fortress of a human being, and you simply can't assail him, obviously is like undercut like immediately. He is annoyed, talking about how he's not annoyed. That's a lovely moment too.
Maybe the movie could have gone more into this, but like there's also maybe he's just the signifiers. Maybe there's nothing really going on past that. Yeah,
and because I think the movie wants that. Because I think that's what makes his disappearance work, is because he's such a non-person. And I think the movie is sort of also saying that, Ray in that scene where he's like, "You can't piss me off. I don't care enough." In that scene, and then in the scene where they spend the time together as like a non kink couple. I think the movie is sort of saying without saying that, like, not like Ray is unable to have this relationship without also feeling some type of feeling as well, because like that's not how people work. Like if you spend this much time with somebody in like in an intimate setting, regardless of what form that takes, like there's going to be some sort of feeling that develops in one way or another. And so to show Ray as this guy who like I actually sort of read his I read his like facial expression there, not that he like can't do emotion, but that he's like repulsed by it.
Yeah.
I guess that's sort of like a subtle difference. I guess the difference is that like I think he is intentionally leaving, not fleeing without understanding why, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Like he's like
Totally.
like he's like I've tapped this well. He's not just like fleeing in like a fugue state.
Yeah, no, like that look on his face is like a look of complete registration. It's like it's like an oh no, rather than a kind of like I gotta flee from this thing that's scary and unknown. He's found himself in a place that he does not want to be.
And I do think it's elegant that we're not privy at all to why he's decided to give in to all of Colin's demands. Like, yeah, he took his bike, but he could have just come back and like, I don't know, kicked his ass or something,
right.
or like just thrown him out. Like he didn't have to capitulate, but he capitulates entirely. Like he says it all entirely. And we don't know why he's done that, because like there was no guarantee he was going to get his bike back at all in the first place, or like get it back in one piece in the first place. So like, to fully give in that way, I don't know if I want to parse that like Ray wanted to try it, or like I guess he was like, let me just burn this out. Like let me just end this once and for all. I know this is going to suck ass. I might as well go out with a bang. I don't know because we don't get enough about Ray, I think, to make like a solid hypothesis about that, but. I think that's a moment where the movie's really using its distance well. I think we've all said this, but it was fun to see, like, I don't know, it was fun to see kink on screen. It's not like, I don't know, like the sinister rapist or whatever. It's just like a bunch of guys in like silly vests just sort of hanging out.
Right.
It was. I think the movie thought it would get a lot of mileage out of the aesthetic, and I think it did. Like you said, Craig, those are some of the most fun scenes in the movie. It's just when they're like, I love when he comes back to Ray's house after their first night and they're having the orgy, and he just wasn't like clued in on the orgy, and he's like the first time he's meeting everybody. I'm like, yeah, what a night that would be. That guy's putting his fisting gloves on. Why not?
I mean, no loads refused. Welcome, Colin.
I was watching Pillion, and I was like so fucking distracted by how hot Alexander Skarsgård is when the movie like remembers to shoot him really sexy, especially at the start of the movie, that like I texted Jennifer and Craig just about how I was going to text about how fucking hot he is, but I got like distracted by how hot he is, so I didn't like follow up the message. Yeah. So the message just ended up feeling very ominous.
Yeah, it's just oh my God. And then Jennifer's like, "Is everything okay?" And then I hit the little emphasize on Jennifer's message. I was actually a little concerned for a minute.
I was like checking multiple news sites, because like when you see like Dear God, to me that's like turn on any TV. It doesn't matter what channel.
9/11/2 is going on.
Yeah. Like I'm like, did Mitch McConnell die? Like what's
Josh is drinking apple juice.
No, it was the scene. It was before the alley blowjob when he's just like taking his like leather off. I was like, man. I don't know. I'm a mark, I guess. I don't know what to say. Do you guys have any final thoughts about Pillion?
I do like the gay date that his mom set him up on, and the guy's shirt is Alexa, free Britney.
What a deranged fit.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, oh man. My mom. Sorry, Josh mentioned it at the beginning and immediately triggered. My mom has tried to do that to me She's like,
No.
she encounters a homosexual and she immediately points them in my direction. Doesn't matter like who they are. She's just like, oh, you're a homosexual. You should like reach out to my son. He's also of the stripe. And it's like, okay, all right.
She winks at him audibly.
No. Like I've literally gotten like friend requests from people, and I'm like, I don't know who this is. And it's like, and I'll learn later that my mom like.
That's hysterical.
Oh my god!
She just goes up to like, any gay man she sees
Yes.
and is like, "Hey, do you like art theory?"
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah. I had to like beg her to stop doing it. It was not comfortable.
It's kind of cute, honestly.
Yeah.
Those were definitely the funniest parts of this movie was when his parents were like way over involved in his sex life. I'm just so glad if my parents asked 1/500th of the questions that Colin's parents ask him, I would go no contact. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to wrap up, but yeah, no, the guy that he sets up with is interesting because like I do feel like. Because Ray is this avatar of masculinity, right? Like this hyper masculine, idealized sort of situation. But then this other guy doesn't do like the Love Simon thing where he's like incredibly fey. Like he's kind of just a guy in like an annoying t-shirt.
Right.
And so I don't know. I did appreciate that they weren't castigating all of our Emery peers out here. At least as badly as they could have, I guess.
Yeah, that was a believable gay man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a guy
It was
with
a
no
respectfully believable gay man.
Yeah.
like your average
With a
person
bad
with no
fashion sense.
Yeah, with no personality. Like whose personality is like TMZ.
Instagram Reels. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, I gave this 3.5 stars. I like beat up this movie for an hour, but I think like what we got is like perfect, fully serviceable. It's just like, I mean, honestly, I think everything about it works. I thought we could have had a lot more. But again, I want to go to bat for gay movies that are just okay. I want my 3 out of 5 kings. That's what I want for gay movies.
3 stars from me. Not really my thing, even though I spent a while defending it.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. Perfectly enjoyable film.
Shout outs to Zach for emailing us about Pillion. This is a movie that I wanted to see since it was announced. Like I really enjoyed the trailer for this. I thought the premise was really fun, and the premise is fine. So I am glad to finally get to it. This is a true Craig really found an unknown pleasure for more than one of us this time. So thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, the true unknown.
The unknown.
The known unknown.
No, the known unknown. Yeah, thanks, Donnie.
Unknown. Known.
Things we
The
know
known
that
unknown.
we don't know.
We knew
known
we didn't
unknown.
know it.
Yep. Known unknown.
The known unknown of a man's armpit. Let's talk about it.
No, we know, but we don't know what we don't know, but we know this now.
8 years of that in America.
Yeah. This movie has fucking WMDs.
We have a question from Fizzy Bison. What are your thoughts on 1992's Bad Lieutenant? There's a scene that looks suspiciously real of Harvey Keitel shooting heroin. That's the Abel Ferreira film.
I've only seen the remake.
The Werner Herzog.
Nicolas
Nick Cage.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never seen the original.
Yeah, the only Abel Ferreira movie I think I've seen is New Rose Hotel, I think.
You've also seen Body Snatchers.
Oh, okay. Anyway, no, I haven't seen Bad Lieutenant. I'm sorry. That's interesting. I would like to see it. It's a movie that I've heard of. Although I have to admit, I always conflate it with like Bad Santa because it's got bad occupation in the name. So.
Yeah. I have seen Bad Lieutenant. It's been a while, but I really like it. It's it feels very that I think he's absolutely shooting heroin in that scene. I think most of the people on that set were probably shooting heroin. Especially when you kind of hear about like how Abel Ferreira's life went for like the decade after that. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. Crazy movie. I should watch it again.
Maybe it could be an unknown pleasure in the future.
Yeah, I bought the 4K of it, but I just haven't thrown it in yet.
You haven't spun it.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. You can find the show wherever you get your podcasts. So that is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening. Please rate, please review, please subscribe. Please tell a friend now that we're doing movies that you might want to talk to your friends about. Please, tell somebody if you like. If you want to get in touch with us on the show, you can do that either at our email address at swimfanspodcast@gmail.com, or you can send in questions for the show, comments, recommendations, anything like that. You can do that there. You can also do that at our Instagram DMs, swimfanspod, Blue Sky, same deal, or on the Spotify episode descriptions. All of those will get to us. All of those have come to us in the past, so feel free. You can find the show on all the social medias that I just listed: Instagram, Letterboxd, Blue Sky, SwimFansPod. And we also have a Patreon. For as low as $1 a month, you can get access to the entire back catalog of SwimFans Patreon stuff, which is even more eclectic than Unknown Pleasures is. So if you would like to become a patron, you can do that. Thank you to all of the elite doves who have already subscribed. Means the world to us, so thank you so much. You can find me online at all the same spots. User Amans, AMONNS, Blue Sky, Instagram, Letterboxd, all the good shit. I have not been watching movies. Put me in film jail. But Matt and I did watch all 10 episodes of Widow's Bay, which stars Matthew Rhys on it's very much drawing inspiration from a Stephen King type deal, but it's 10 episodes. It's a horror comedy show. It's cool. I thought the season finale was cool. I eagerly await the next season of Widow's Bay. Jen.
You can follow me on Blue Sky, diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. I watched Obsession.
What'd you think?
I thought that was pretty good. It's kind of a ghoul picture. There's some really good ghouling in it.
Oh, yeah.
It's if it was in an erotic thriller, it would be top tier ghouling.
But you know what? I don't think we've ever had a non-consensual ghouling before, where the ghoul themselves does not want to ghoul.
Yeah, I think that's a new one. I think they're breaking ground on the ghoul picture with Obsession.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. That is brave new territory.
I was expecting it to be gorier. After
oh, really?
Yeah, because you were like, oh, it's pretty fucked up. And so there's one really gnarly kill, but I was expecting I don't know, Terrifier to happen at the end of that movie or something.
Well, to be clear, I went in expecting little to no gore.
Sure, yeah.
Because I was pretty late to it. I saw Backrooms when that came out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you got to see Obsession instead." And then I waited a month or whatever. But nobody spoiled it. I didn't know that there was any gnarliness at all, so I was surprised.
Yeah. It's pretty shocking when it happens. Yeah. Anyway, Craig.
You can find me at Craig Neeson on Instagram and Letterboxd, CraigNeeson.com. I also haven't been watching movies, but my wife and I started season 2 of Mob Psycho, and we also picked back up Succession, which I never completed.
Yes,
so we're
dude.
Season 3 of Succession. And I'm excited to be back on board. I love seeing Kendall in his element in season 3.
I was rotating Kendall Roy in my head like a 3D model. Amazing. Well, we will see you here next week. Same SwimFans time, same SwimFans place.
For my birthday episode.
Oh, shit. Do we know what we're doing yet?
I think so. I kind of really want to talk about Enter the Void. Is that an acceptable choice?
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you guys hate that movie. I don't know.
I only saw
I think we famously don't hate that movie.
Oh, okay, cool. We're watching. Then rejoice, my fellow co-hosts, because we're watching Enter the Void.
After however many fucking years this show's been on, we're finally doing Enter the Void.
This is going to make you freak.
Dun 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 dun. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.